Hey everybody, welcome to the Todd and Erin Show, the series Salads and Salutations.
No, that's even worse.
Trying to come up with a...
And he comes up with all these creepy, like PBS public broadcasting type of...
Salad and chat.
And you're waiting for the classical music to waft over, and it's like, that's not us at all.
Well, if you got to go to a barbecue and stuff, you're going to family stuff, why not take something? And my thought is take something different.
It makes you look cool and elegant, like you have taste, unlike us.
As opposed to, the potatoes are great. Macaroni salad is great. All that, but something lighter. Perhaps, and that's what we're doing today. We are going to do watermelon. Think of this, watermelon and balsamic vinegar.
Oh.
What?
Now, I know that sounds creepy, but anything with balsamic, you would eat a boot if it had a good balsamic vinegar on it.
So I always like looking over the ingredients to kind of give you a flavor of what's happening here. So we've got watermelon, a little bit of lime, olive oil, a little bit, mint, and crumbled feta cheese, and a super balsamic surprise, something I've never done before.
Look at you, you're all intrigued and excited.
And you have to put it on the stove for a bit. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is coming up.
Okay, explain the ice cream looking thing, because I saw this stupid little girl do this in this video.
Everyone's seen this. The girl who is a juvenile, by the way, and that's why she's not in prison.
Food tampering is a big issue. I mean, the companies will go after you with all their teeth and fangs because it's a blue bunny. But this stupid little girl went into Walmart. She peeled off the
Blue Bell, by the way.
And licked the ice cream and then put the lid back and like...
and put it back in the freezer.
And the video, of course, went viral on Twitter, and everyone... Blue Bell Creameries is freaking out.
Aren't they the ones that had such a hard time with bad things happening in their factory? Aren't they the same ones?
Apparently they've offended the small appliance gods or something.
But she just went after it and opened it up, and then their comment is the fact that we've never sealed them. We've never sealed them because when we put the lids on, it freezes to the ice cream, and it's always been satisfactory to everyone. And now we got some creepazoid out there thinking that's funny and licking the top of the ice cream. Now we got some copycat people, ones doing mouthwash, because certain foods don't actually have safety caps on them. Mustard does.
Mouthwash?
Ketchup does.
That would not even have occurred to me.
Everything's got a seal on it. You either have to break the seal or remove the plastic. Ice cream is like one of the last ones. So guess what will be happening?
Well, I guess all the fun is over now. Thank you, lady.
All the fun is over now.
All right, let's start cooking this. I gotta add, it's no cooking. Well, actually, with the balsamic, there's cooking. Do you want to explain, or shall I just talk about fish first?
Talk about fish first.
All right.
So I'm going to scoot over.
Now, I'm going to explain that Nice. That was smooth, baby.
There you go.
Got it? Okay, I'm going to explain that I understand that you were in forestry and wildlife management, so you take this more seriously than I do, but
go ahead.
They released a big press release from the Utah Department of Wildlife Resources. They have manned checkpoints over the weekend.
I've been through one of those.
They were checking the recreation goers to make sure that nothing untoward was going on.
I was coming on Mirror Lake Highway, and they had a mandatory pullover, and I pulled over, and they said, "What were you doing?" I said, "I was fishing."
So it's like a drunk point, except for it's for fish?
Yes, and they said, or poaching. It's called poaching. And so they said, "What'd you get?" And I said, "I got like two 8-inch ones we're gonna have for dinner." And they looked in my cooler, and there they were. Fine. Then she said, "Go on your way." And I said, "No, I have to show you my license." And she goes, "No, you're good. Go."
I remember this story. You're like,
and I'm going,
"No,
I just bought it yesterday.
I'm an upright citizen.
You are going to look at my license and like it." And so she did. She thought it was funny. But there was 20 officers there.
Well, this is hysterical because they released all these pictures on Twitter, and they're like leaning down,
of
very
what?
serious. They had laid out all this fish like it was a drug bust, and it was like kilos of cocaine or something. But they had them all laid out like these were confiscated. They during one checkpoint they stopped 254 vehicles, issued 30 citations, and seized 47 fish that were taken illegally. So they had a fish bust.
But one guy...
I mean, they had this picture. Seriously, it was all laid out like bales of marijuana.
Cocaine.
What, isn't it?
Could be meth.
Is it cocaine a bale?
It could be anything, hon.
I've got to work on my drug lingo. Anyway, it just made me laugh because it's like they're so serious. I'm like, it's a fish.
All right, so here we go.
So why is this so serious?
Why is this so serious? Because they're changing the ecosystem and the plan that the DWR has put into place of managing the fish at this place, which was Strawberry Reservoir. And the reason they do that is sometimes they even do a slot limit, which is you only can keep 2 fish that are between this and this measurement, because they are managing so closely.
Sure.
So one species doesn't take over. The cutthroats aren't eating all the food for the rainbow, so they aren't eating the rainbows. And that's the way it works, because that's what makes it fun for everyone to go and catch a fish.
All right, so it's all fun and games until the poaching begins.
Exactly. And so, by the way, there are instances where all your equipment is then taken. If you're in a boat, the boat can be seized.
Oh, wow.
It's serious, and there's jail time, and there are huge fines.
What was this thing about DNA on turkey breasts?
Oh, one guy was hunting illegally. He was poaching turkeys out of season. And they did a raid on his house, and they saw all these turkey breasts in his freezer, and they actually did a DNA on the species, because he said he got them someplace else, and he got busted. DNA, turkey breast, freezer, fine. Can't hunt for like 5 years.
I'm not taking this seriously enough.
You're not. This is serious stuff. You take a deer out of season. You change the environment.
No, and I do agree.
I know it is funny with them posting though, and the way they're posing is awesome.
I don't know. Okay.
All right.
This may not surprise any of us, because we belong to a neighborhood like online sort of like community website bulletin boardish thing, and every night there's like, my car got broken into. Has anyone seen my car? Yeah. So it probably isn't a big surprise. Property crime is an issue here in Utah, especially along the Wasatch Front, and that could mean people stealing from your car, people breaking into your house, people stealing stuff out of your garage, whatever.
Right.
The worst for highest property crime rate in the nation is Springfield, Missouri.
Why?
I don't know. It just is. Miami Beach, Florida, number 2. That doesn't surprise me. Number 3, us. We are the 3rd highest in the nation for property crime.
No, wait a minute. Why is that?
They don't give you an explanation why. It's just like, for instance, with like major violent crimes, we're lower than average.
Right.
But for property crime, for some reason, we're extraordinarily high. No one can explain it. So,
interesting.
If your car got broken into last night, or maybe your trailer with all of your stuff in it got stolen out of your driveway, like harvested. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm now doing I am now going to do this is the mint, and I'm doing a French application of the, I don't know what it's called. So anyway, as we've learned as we have learned, look, I still have my finger. I'm losing the tip of this one though. I lost that years ago. A lot of mint is not a good thing.
So really, more like a touch of mint.
More like a touch of mint.
It looks really pretty though.
Okay, so keep going.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever seen this. There's a great Facebook page called That's It, I'm Wedding Shaming. Because I mean, we all live with these stories, right? Where it's like the bridezilla is so
crazy women.
Beyond outrageous that it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, great. This one's really, really good. This woman had agreed to go to a coworker's wedding. She went, "No, that sounds lovely. My husband and I will totally be there." She RSVP'd everything.
Nice.
Then she found out when they arrived that they were taking money at the door. They were charging the guests $125 each to come to the reception.
Wait, each person?
Yes, $125, and they were literally taking money at the door like it was a rock venue. I mean, that's...
Give me the oil.
And so she's standing there, and her husband, she's like, okay, so she pulled out her debit card, and they like
Did she
had a
really?
card reader, and they're swiping stuff. This is at the wedding. You know, right where, you would sign the book and say
best
hi.
wishes.
Yeah.
As opposed to screw you.
Except for they're taking her money.
I thought we were friends.
So she sits down at her table, and they're both just like, okay. And there's some fairly elaborate, like, table gifts, hostess gifts at some of the other...
Of course.
Guest gifts, not hostess gifts at the other tables.
Because they charged them.
And I guess he ran out like halfway through, so some got him, some didn't. And so she and her husband were sitting there, and he said, "Do you want a drink?" Because at least they had an open bar. She said, "Yeah, but I'm on medication." He went, "Yeah." So he went and got 2 Pepsis for them.
Right.
And they're sitting here waiting for dinner, and the food runs out. And they went, "What?" And they were passing around hors d'oeuvres, and I guess at some point they passed her on a plate of sliced hot dogs.
Shut
with
up.
Toothpicks, like, well, we do have some hors d'oeuvres left in there. So she went through the whole thing, and everybody's freaking out. But she said, "Unless you're Beyonce, please don't charge people to attend your raggedy wedding, especially if the ceiling is leaking and some of the letters outside on the venue walls have fallen off." But it got like 8,000 responses from people who said, this is the first time I have ever been charged for a wedding before.
Would you go to a wedding? Let me ask you this question. Would you go to a wedding if you were charged?
Well, here's something interesting that somebody brought up there. We spend, if it's family, I'll spend around $100 for a wedding gift. If it's family. If it's friends or coworkers, I'll spend like $50. Maybe buy a piece of silverware. No, that's usually
something off their list. Don't be the last one on the list, by the way, because then you end up getting a $400 pie fork.
Yeah, there's nothing good.
No.
But so I mean, I guess if someone brought this point up, they said if I didn't have to buy a gift, I'd pay like $100 to go to the reception to support him, sure. But people were like, the fact that they're expecting a gift and literally charging you. I mean, she said they had a card swiper to take $125 per guest. And once you're in the line, they're smart because once you're in the line to get in, most people wouldn't. I frankly think unless it were someone, well, if it were someone really close to us, they wouldn't do something like that.
No, they wouldn't.
But if I were in the line and they said, "Oh, it's $125, well, it'll be $250 for both of us," I would just turn around and walk off.
I would too.
Wouldn't you?
All dressed up, go out to dinner instead. Spend $125 getting a really, really nice meal.
Yeah, that'd be $250. So you could also afford maybe a nice hotel room for the evening too, or like
this is
a
true.
concert. But I mean, it's like I've never heard of anything that trashy. But answer after answer on this said, "Yeah, this is the first year I've ever been like charged as I walked into a reception hall."
That's crazy.
Isn't that creepy?
I wouldn't pay.
I'm curious, is there anyone out there who thinks that's acceptable? Give me a good argument. I want to know. I'm just curious.
Or what is the right price?
Or if would it be better if like in advance you said, "Hey, this is how we're covering the reception. We'd like everyone to donate $125 each."
Like there's something wrong with Cracker Barrel?
If you were warned in advance, would you be okay with doing it? Or is it perfectly okay to spring it on someone right there at the door? I'm just curious. I want to know.
All right.
What's next? You've sprinkled the feta. What else?
So the feta's on, the mint's on. A couple teaspoons of olive oil.
What is the olive oil?
I'm not really sure. I'm just checking this recipe out. What else do we have?
Is that because of the balsamic vinegar? It's like a balance.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Sunday is our first 100-degree day here along the Wasatch Front.
Oh boy.
And we got so lucky during June. It was so nice, and I was like suckered into thinking, this won't be like a death zone, hot, soul-sucking dust bowl of murder the way it usually. Yeah.
Just checking your fever. Yeah. Delirious, obviously.
But this is a good point. So the Humane Society just came out with something, and they said, look, we want to remind you of a couple of things. Because with pets, even if you care, you may not be thinking about it. Some people leave pets like on balconies or decks while they go to work.
Yeah, and we know the dog thing and the car thing, right?
Obviously. Although, you know the latest thing they've got? Now they're saying, don't smash the window.
Wait, there's our dog.
Thank you, Gary.
I'm going to let our dog in.
I think she's in. He's in. When did we start having a girl dog? I know better than that. But what they're saying is that if they're out, if you leave them on a deck or a balcony, they can tip over their water and freak out without knowing. And it's actually the reflected heat that comes in that can burn their paws. And they'll try to jump off to get out of it, and then they get hurt even worse. They've had a lot of those cases. And if you see a dog in a car, I still don't agree with this. They said don't smash the window to get the dog out. They said because you could be charged for damages. I'd still smash the window, because what they said is take a note of the license plate number and the dog's condition, and then immediately call us. It's like, no, the dog's gonna.
I think.
I would still smash. The window.
By the way, our mail is here. That's what our dog was barking at.
Great. I'd still smash the window.
I think if there's a group of 3 people who are standing around concerned, and you have a quick discussion, saying, let's all remember that the guy who smashed the window ran away. We're just here to save the dog.
This is what I didn't realize. When you're walking your dog, even if it's night.
This is huge.
I didn't realize this. They said the pavement can burn their paws even when it gets darker. Place the back of your hand on the pavement. It's like we used to do with bottles. Place the back of your hand on the pavement, and if you can't stand the heat for 5 seconds, it's too hot for your dog.
Too hot. Go to the park. Get on the grass.
Good idea. Anyway, just fair warning. I thought that was good. Anything else we want to get into this? Do you want to explain the balsamic before the last thing?
No, go ahead and do your last thing, and then I'll finish this magical thing right here.
I'm kind of sorry I saved this story.
Why?
I've liked you with a beard, like a smaller, well-trimmed goatee, because then you look like evil, parallel, alternate universe Todd, which is good. Full beard on you is you look like one of those guys who's burying weapons in the front yard.
Yeah.
They found out there's a new study that every sample of beard hair taken in the study was crawling with bacteria.
Well, of course it is.
Men with beards have more germ in their beard hair than dogs carry in their fur.
Oh.
Nearly half had bugs and bacteria in the beards
Right.
that were hazardous to human health. The
Excuse
dogs
me,
that
back up. Did you say bugs?
Well, like microbial bugs.
Oh.
And the dogs tested had lower levels of microbes, the bacterium that causes disease, than the men's beards do. And here's what's so creepy. The reason they started is they wanted to find out if men's hair could pick up a dog-borne disease. They wanted to see if it's something that could carry over.
You could get mange? You could get mange. A guy could get mange and his beard would fall
So they took
off.
swabs from the beards of 580 men, ages 18 to 76, and then from the necks of 600 dogs. And then they compared the results. All of the bearded men, all of them, 100%, had elevated levels of microbial counts. Only 23% of the dogs did. So essentially, once again,
You know what it? I think I know what it
a dog is
is.
cleaner than a bearded guy.
First of all, the eating, right, and the food, and then doing this.
That could be. It's very funny though. They questioned Keith Flew, who I guess is the head of the Men's Beard Liberation Front here along the Wasatch Front.
Oh, really?
He said he questioned the findings.
I would question them as well.
The Beard Liberation.
Are you ready
Front.
for the surprise?
Okay, explain.
All right. A balsamic vinegar goes really well with sweet, right? So what you do is take 3/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar.
This is the regular liquidy kind you get out of the
and
bottle.
you put on the stove and you bubble it away, but before you do that you add a tablespoon, so that's 3/4 unless you have a bigger salad, 3/4 a cup of vinegar, and then a tablespoon of sugar, and then open all the windows. 1 tablespoon, 3/4 of a cup.
It tastes delicious, but when it's cooking,
It will
dry.
burn your eyes. You definitely put all the vents on and do that. So hopefully this is the right consistency. And what you do, please work, please work, please work. It's working. And you drizzle it
That looks really good.
over the top. It worked.
That's nice.
All right. There you go. And it doesn't take much. And there you go.
That almost looks like chocolate.
And then if you wanted to, you could put mint on a little bit, tiny bit, but not much.
Just as the garnish. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Get the
Spoon or fork?
fork. You ready? Get one with everything on it. Looks good.
I want to eat this every day for the rest of my life.
Very good.
That is so unbelievably good.
That's really good. But because it
Every
has
day.
watermelon, you pretty much have to eat the first egg because it's got so much water in it. So anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching today. Please subscribe to the show.
We'll have the full recipe on the Todd and Erin DailyStream.com. That's so freaking good.
It's so easy too. And it's a good way to get rid of watermelon because you have a 40-pound watermelon. What are you going to do with it? So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. It is really good, isn't it? It's really good. I've never done it with a balsamic before. All right.
so good.
See you guys later.